You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
By the way, did you guys hear about this class action lawsuit against Wen Shampoo? If you're a TV watcher, there's a guy named Chaz Wen. He's a hair guy, and he supposedly formulated a hair care system, and now people's hair is falling out. What's really interesting about this hair care system, we'll get to talking here about vitamin E in a minute, but this is kind of interesting to me. After I saw all these Facebook posts and internet articles about the class action lawsuit from people using Chaz Wen's shampoo and his conditioner system, I decided to do a little research to see what was so special about Chaz Wen. Apparently, he's selling a lot of this stuff, and Gunther Renker and the infomercial folks are making a lot of money. So I decided to do some research and check into what his deal was and why people's hair were falling out. I think 200 women filed a class action lawsuit that said their hair fell out. Anyway, I went on. I did a little research, and apparently, this is Wen's idea for taking care of your hair. Chaz Wen's idea for taking care of your hair. Don't use shampoo, just use conditioner. Yes, I'm not kidding. Don't use shampoo, just use conditioner. As if conditioner is better than shampoo. As if conditioner is less toxic than shampoo. Chaz Wen needs to listen to our Brightside episode from a couple weeks ago when we told you about conditioners and quats and ammonium compounds, not to mention the waxes and the surfactants that are in your conditioners and in Chaz Wen's styling products, etc. So, bottom line here is predatory businesses are everywhere, even if they look innocent and sweet and like they're really trying to help you out. Like Chaz Wen looks like a really nice guy. And by the way, he doesn't formulate anything. That's a stock standard formulation with a lot of essential oils. That might be one of the reasons why people's hair is falling out. Essential oils are really strong, and there are a lot of essential oils and other oils in the conditioner product. But I digress. I just thought that was kind of interesting. We're talking about scarring. We're talking about skin conditions and vitamin E. Yesterday we said if you burn or cut or somehow wound your skin, you want to load up on nutrients as soon as the skin is healing. Once a scar is there, it tends to be permanent. Now we talked to a caller yesterday, one of my intelligent callers. You're probably listening out there, Mr. X or Dr. X, and he said that he reversed his scars using nutrition. And I got to thinking, anything's possible in the body. The body's constantly rebuilding and regenerating. So yeah, I'm not going to dispute Mr. X's experience because certainly anything is possible. However, for the most part, the body doesn't care about how a scar looks. A scar is functional to the body, and it's there. Now, whether or not it goes away with good nutrition, that is debatable, and Mr. X has certainly, I'm not going to dispute his experience, and it makes sense that anything's possible in the body. But for most of us, a scar is a scar once it's there. The trick to dealing with a scar is to prevent it, and you prevent it by being healthy. And you're healthy by nutrition, at least partially, at least in large measure. So other things are involved, but nutrition plays a major role in keeping the skin growing correctly as it's healing, internal and external. If you know you're going to be wounded, that is, if you know you're going to have surgery, or if you're going to get a tattoo or some kind of intentional scar for that matter, start using nutrients weeks before, especially fatty nutrients. High doses of vitamin C are also important. High doses of the B complex are also important. Amino acids are all important, but nothing beats the fatty nutrients for keeping the skin healing correctly, especially essential fatty acids, vitamin E, and vitamin A, and also vitamin D. The sun is incredible, I mean incredible, for accelerating the healing process and keeping healing moving along. So pre-treat your skin with the sun. One thing you do have to be careful with the sun is you don't want to, sometimes you'll hyperpigment, you'll get dark spots if you're out in the sun as the skin is healing. If you have a hormone issue or if you're malnourished, you're not getting enough nutrients, or if you're under a lot of stress, the likelihood of hyperpigmenting in response to the sun is higher, so you want to be careful with the sun. But if you're healthy, the sun is a great way to accelerate skin healing. Vitamin C, as I said, is very important. Amino acids, glutamine in particular, arginine is another important amino acid for helping stimulate healing or improve healing. The glucogel caps, glucosamine and chondroitin, components of cartilage can actually turn on the production of connective tissue. Cartilage is a type of connective tissue. It's mostly made up of collagen. And interestingly, when we eat little chunks of cartilage, that's what glucosamine is, it's a little chunk of cartilage, the body or the brain sees these little chunks of cartilage floating around in the blood. It doesn't know that it got in through a supplement. It thinks that there's been a wound. It thinks that there's little chunks of cartilage because something's breaking or something is dissolving, and it turns on healing. That's how glucosamine works. It signals the body that a wound has occurred. It signals the brain that a wound has occurred, and the brain responds by turning on the healing process. So using the glucogel caps a couple weeks before, 3 weeks before, and 2 or 3 weeks after you have surgery or after you hurt yourself, after you have a wound or a cut, can help accelerate healing. It's not just for glucogel caps, or not just for arthritis, not just for joint pain. It's for building all connective tissue, and that means wound healing. Essential fatty acids, super important. I'd be loading up on EFAs pre-surgery if I was pre-surgery, and I'd be loading up on them after I got wounded or post-surgery. And then hyaluronic acid. I love this stuff, man. Hyaluronic acid is just a great all-around supplement, but it's also very important for helping turn on wound healing. For the same reason that glucosamine is important. Hyaluronic acid is a component of cartilage, and when the brain sees hyaluronic acid in the blood, or reads it in the blood, it turns on healing. Let's see. Drinking lots of bone soup, of course, that's always good. Anti-inflammatory. Bone soup supports the immune system, plus it has all those cartilage factors. And then there's a really cool mineral that you don't hear a lot of folks talk about, although we talk about it periodically on this program. I'll tell you what that is when we come back from our break. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
My name is Don Wiskin. In 1994, I lost my 62-year-old father to complications of bypass surgery. In 1977, my 44-year-old brother was found dead in his apartment. He suffered a heart attack. In January of 98, my mother had a stroke and passed away in her bed. 21 days later, my 53-year-old brother passed away on his arrival to the hospital. He waited too long. In June that same year, I almost joined them at 42. What did I do? I took a 7-herb formula I now call Extendivite, made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn, milk thistle, and valerian. Based on German studies of natural medicine, Extendivite is designed to clear blocked arteries, clean the toxins from your blood, and improve your immune system. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
Okay, so I love silica in the form of liquid silica gel or just in the form of silica gel. Now, it's hard to find powder silica gel, but that's really the way to go. Go to a compounding pharmacist and ask him to buy it for you. Compounding pharmacies have access to it. I had access to it when I had my compounding pharmacy. I got a bunch of it before I sold it, and I'm glad I did. I use powder silica gel, and I turn it into liquid silica gel. If you can't find powder, or it's too hard to deal with, it's too hard to get it, you can get liquid silica gel, and there's a couple companies making it. There are silica products that are small, tiny doses of silica, and they claim that the manufacturers of these tiny doses of silica claim that you get better penetration or better cellular penetration. I think there's a product called MicroSil. You'll have to decide for yourself. I haven't found that it's that effective. But I have found that liquid silica gel is darn effective, especially for hair and nails. Silica is a precipitating nutrient. Tissue grows around silica. Silica, you could think of it like a little seed, and stuff grows around it. It's said to be a precipitating nutrient, especially connective tissue, bones, and collagen in your skin. Both of these systems are dependent on silica as a precipitating or a seed-like mineral. Stuff grows around it. For healing, it's unbelievable. It's also, as I say, I've noticed personally, although I'm not sure of the exact mechanism, I've noticed personally that hair grows faster and fuller when you're using liquid silica gel. Likewise, nails. You can always tell how healthy you are, by the way, by your nails. The nails grow really, really fast, and they will exhibit nutritional deficiencies pretty quickly. And if you have a defect in your nails, thin nails, brittle nails, spots in your nails, ridges in your nails, these are all indicative of nutritional deficiencies. And you want to be using your nails as a window into what's happening in your body. A good skincare professional will always look at his or her patient's nails. A good healthcare professional, for that matter, should always look at his or her patient's nails, because you can always tell about what's happening inside the body, because the nails are like a instant snapshot, relatively instant snapshot of what's happening inside the body. Liquid silica gel, silica in general, silica powder into gel, will help stimulate nail growth too. Horsetail is an herb that has traditionally been used as a source of silica. Sometimes you'll see horsetail in shampoos. It's not going to really help you in a shampoo, but if you do horsetail tincture or horsetail tea, you may get some of the advantages of the silica. All these nutrients, by the way, that we're talking about as far as cosmetics or improving the appearance of the skin from a cosmetic standpoint or for wound healing, are also very important for bone healing. If you break a leg or you break an arm, everything we've talked about in the last couple of days for improving the healing of the skin post-surgery, post-wounding, post-burn, are all very important, all have equal importance and relevance when it comes to rebuilding bone. So if you broke a bone or broke a leg, you know somebody who's got a broken bone, go back to the archives and you want to keep track of everything we talked about for the last couple of days as far as the skin goes. It's also relevant for the bone. Connective tissue is connective tissue is connective tissue. It makes up about a third of the body. It's anywhere from 25 to 30% of the body. And it doesn't matter where it is, whether it's in your joints or whether it's in your skin or whether it's in your blood vessels or whether it's in your digestive tract. Wherever it is, if you do these strategies for building connective tissue, all connective tissue will be built up. Likewise, the opposite is true. If connective tissue is breaking up in the bone, if you have osteoporosis, if you got weak bones, you got weak skin. You got weak blood vessels. You see what I'm saying here? The blood vessel connective tissue is not different from the bone connective tissue. It's the same system. And when connective tissue breaks down, either because of inflammation or some kind of immune problem, connective tissue diseases are relatively common. I just did a blog post on connective tissue diseases. If your connective tissue is breaking down because you have a disease, inflammation, immunity, or if it's breaking down from malnutrition, or if it's breaking down just because you're not absorbing, if you're getting older and you're starting to get arthritis, well, guess what? If you have arthritis, osteoarthritis, you're predisposed to wrinkles too. Wrinkles are osteoarthritis of the skin. Osteoporosis is osteoarthritis of the bone. Aneurysms, weak blood vessels, are osteoarthritis of the connective tissue in the blood vessels. Leaky gut syndrome is osteoarthritis of the digestive tract. See, it's the same stuff. That's good news because it means when you take your glucosamine or you do your bone soup or you do your vitamin C or you do your EFAs, you eat your protein, your amino acids, and you reduce your sugar intake and you stay away from inflammatory foods, all in the interests of improving wounding post-surgery. You'll also be building bone and building your digestive tract, supporting digestive health. You'll also be supporting blood vessel health, improving the resilience and the strength of your blood vessels, reducing the risks, the likelihoods of cardiovascular disease, all from supplementing to build connective tissue. As far as vitamin E goes, right before the skin is about to be cut, pre-surgery, even a couple weeks pre-surgery and post-surgery, that's when you want to start to use vitamin E topically on the area to be healed. Now, orally too, by the way. Once the scar is there, you're not going to do anything, but you can use the vitamin E topically to improve healing. Now, you got to be a little bit careful with vitamin E because most vitamin E comes in soy oil. And soy oil can be a problem for some people. So some people get rashes and dermatitises and even break out by using topical vitamin E. You got to be a little bit careful with topical vitamin E, and pay attention to rashes, etc. Any sign that your immune system topically has been activated. That's a reason to not use vitamin E topically, but internally, definitely use it. And unfortunately, vitamin E is one of those vitamins that your doctor will tell you not to take pre-surgery. They'll say for a couple weeks or a week before your surgery, don't take vitamin E. You know why? Because vitamin E thins the blood. And doctors are afraid you'll bleed to death. That's seriously why. If you have vitamin E, it may make you bleed to death. The problem is, blood supply is important for healing. So while your doctor may tell you not to take vitamin E, if you decide you want to take vitamin E to accelerate the healing process, tell a doctor. It's your right to take it. You don't have to do what your doctor tells you to do. Now, you do have to tell him. It's only polite, it's only right to tell your doctor what you're doing. You don't want to work behind his back because he's trying to help. As misguided as he may be, he's still trying to help you, and it's only fair to tell him what you're doing. But if you decide you want to take vitamin E or vitamin C or you want to be on your nutrients, because doctors, surgeons will say get off all your nutrients. Doctors will tell you to get off all your nutrients when you're in the hospital. It's our right to take nutritional supplements. You just tell your doctor or you find another doctor. Vitamin E can be very helpful, and it can also be helpful for accelerating the healing process because it improves oxygenation and nutrition and detoxification by thinning the blood. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. On the bright side, we'll be back right after this. We're talking about wound healing nutrition, specifically vitamin E, which is a blood thinner in addition to being important for helping speed up the healing of wounds. You can use it pre-treatment or pre-surgery. Although physicians don't like vitamin E, they'll tell you not to use vitamin E. They'll tell you not to use vitamin K after surgery. They'll tell you not to eat broccoli after surgery. We all got to make our own decisions, though. If you read up on nutrition, you're going to probably know more about nutrition and how it works than your physician. That's not what they do, although it's changing. In fairness, physicians are starting to understand how important nutrition is. It's because it's so obvious. However, they still think of it like drugs. They still think of it like medicine. They still think of it like poison. entranced by this pharmacomedical model where you poison the body back to health. So they just assume that if you use nutrients to be healthy, then it's got to have this poison-like effect. It doesn't work that way with nutrition. The body takes in nutrition when it needs it, and it doesn't take it when it doesn't. You're not going to get sicker by using nutrition. That's silly. That's doctor thing. That's pharmacomedical model thinking. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on doctors. It's the pharmacomedical model. So don't be intimidated. Make your own decisions, but always let your physician know what you're doing. It's only fair. He has to be able to factor it into your protocol. It's not fair to wean yourself or to take yourself off your drugs without telling your doctor if you're going to be working with a doctor. Now, you may want to find another doctor. That might not be a bad idea if you don't like the way your doctor's working with you. But if you work with a physician, you want to make sure that he's aware of what you're doing. Vitamin C is also very important, as topically as well as internally. From the journal, where is this? Lasers in Surgery and Medicine, vitamin C, E, and ferulic acid speed post-laser wound healing. How do you like that? Topically, this is. Patients who are treated with vitamin C, E, and ferulic acid. Ferulic acid, by the way, is a really interesting that is plant nutrient that's found in it's found everywhere in plants, really. Wheat, bran, the bran part of grains has ferulic acid in it. Artichokes, oranges, coffee, pineapple, apple. It's a class of phytonutrients of which there are lots. You don't want to get all into ferulic acid as a supplement on its own. It's part of the complex of phytonutrients, plant nutrients, that are found in all fruits and vegetables and grains and growing matter. These are powerful nutrients. What we call phytonutrients are just as powerful, maybe not just as, but pretty close to as powerful as vitamins. We don't call them vitamins. We can't make them. And whether they're essential or not in the sense that vitamins are is up for debate. It may be that they're just as essential as vitamins. And we just kind of closed the book on essential nutrients when we discovered the last vitamin, which is vitamin E. So it may be that ferulic acid and chlorogenic acid and coumarin and coumaric acid, these are all examples of phytonutrients, are just as essential as vitamins. We don't know. But in any case, ferulic acid along with vitamin C and vitamin E, according to this study, speeds post-laser wound healing, and you can rest assured if it speeds post-laser wound healing, it's going to have a significant growth and repair and renewal benefit for your bones and for your digestive system and for your blood vessels, etc., as we said before we went to break. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. We do have a couple lines open for you. Brian in New Hampshire, what's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side, Brian.
Hey, Ben. I wanted to talk to you about retinol palmitate versus retinol.
Okay, good. Speak a little bit louder or get me off speaker here. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, my apologies.
No worries.
Okay. Well, there's some in Vitamin World, one of those chain stores.
Brian, I'm sorry, man. We cannot hear you. You're just coming off. I don't know if I'm on speaker or what the deal is, but I'm going to have to let you go if I can't hear you.
Ben, you're still not good. All right, my apologies. You can hang up.
Is that it? Okay. I'm sorry, Brian. Yeah, call back if you have a better line. I could not understand what you're saying. I think you said something about retinol and retinol palmitate, which is actually a good question. There's three, and we've talked about this in the past, but if you're listening, Brian, if that was your question, I think you had something to do with retinol and retinol palmitate. There are three main forms of vitamin A, okay? And vitamin A is arguably, and I say arguably because vitamin C is also important, but arguably vitamin A is the most important of all the topical skin vitamins. I don't know how much clearer I can be. If you're using an anti-aging skincare product line and it has seaweed in it, like this product called La Mer, which costs like $1,000 for 4 ounces, or it's got hyaluronic acid in it, or it's made by some kindly herbalist who has herbs in it. If you're not using vitamin A, folks, you are missing the boat on anti-aging skincare. I don't know how much clearer I could be. I'm telling you this as a compounding pharmacist, as somebody who's been studying the skin and healing for 30 years. You are missing the boat on topical skincare if you're not using vitamin A. Now, there's different forms of vitamin A. There's three main forms of it, and they're not all the same. I think we got Brian back. Brian, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Much better connection. So were you asking about retinol versus retinol palmitate?
Yeah, because there's products that you talk about skincare products that are really misleading. Well, there's a product in the vitamin world that's called retinol, right? There's not the ingredient retinol isn't even listed. Retinol.
Isn't that terrible? Isn't that awful?
Isn't that blatant fraud?
Don't you want to just choke somebody? I mean, it makes me, as a healthcare professional, it makes me so angry. I've left companies that did that. It is so rude because people don't think the skin matters. So they treat customers, and they treat mostly women, but men nowadays too, as if we're idiots. And it's not fair. And I know what you're talking about, Brian. I've seen products like that. Usually they'll put a speck of something in at the bottom, and then they'll tell you, oh, it's a vitamin A cream. And they're expensive sometimes too. Now, that's probably a cheapo product, to be fair, but still, it doesn't matter. It's like you say, it's fraud. Are you sure it doesn't say retinol anywhere?
It doesn't say retinol anywhere. The only ingredient is retinol palmitate.
Can you take a picture on your? Do you have an iPhone or something, an Android or Samsung?
I do.
Will you take a picture and send it to me?
Yeah, I can take a picture here and email to you tonight.
Yeah, send me an email, ben@ksco.com. Send me the name of the product with a picture and then the ingredients. I want to look at that because that's that's awful. And yes, that happens. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, my fiance, who's a nutritional advisor, advises the people that are buying it that are looking for retinol that it's not retinol. It's blatant fraud. She actually wants to know if she can actually be a distributor for you at the same token. Is that a possibility for your Truth treatment products?
I got a little legal non-compete that I am dealing with, so I have about a year and a half, and after that we're going to go full bore. We might have distributors after that. I'm not sure how I want to do it after that. So, but for a year and a half, I'm limited to just doing it on the internet because of my non-compete. I sold my business last year. I had a skincare company and a pharmacy, and I sold it, and they didn't want me to compete, understandably. So I signed a non-compete. So anyway, but in a year and a half, I might consider that. But let me talk about. I want to talk about those vitamins. That's a very interesting question that you asked because there is a very important distinction, and we always think. And did you have anything else you want to say? I'm going to let you go otherwise.
No, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate your call. Happy holidays, man. To you and your girl too. Okay, buddy. Yeah. So now that you know how important vitamin A is, you may be bamboozled into buying a product like that. So let me just break it down here a little bit. There's 3 forms of vitamin A, and you can go back on the archives too because we talked a lot about this a couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago or so. There's the music. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back. And if you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back, and then we'll talk also about the 3 main forms of vitamin A and the forms that you want to look for. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. If you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth treatment products, including our retinol 5% gel, 5% retinol, we'll talk about that here in a sec. You're not going to see that anywhere. Plus, a whole bunch of vitamin C. Vitamin C, vitamin A, those are the 2 go-to anti-aging, wound healing, all-around skin health ingredients you want to look for. There's 3 forms of vitamin A, okay? You've got the super-duper active form. That requires a prescription. So we'll leave that aside for now. That's called retinoic acid. It was first in the brand name product Retin A. And the second, the weakest form, that's the strongest form. That's a prescription. We'll put that aside for now. The 2 forms that are available over the counter are called retinyl palmitate. It's 2 words, retinyl palmitate. R-E-T-I-N-Y-L, retinyl palmitate, P-A-L-M-I-T-A-T-E. Palmitate's an interesting thing, a fatty acid, by the way, and it's found in the skin. So you'll see a lot of palmitates in skincare ingredients because it is found in the skin. It's a fatty acid. So retinyl palmitate is vitamin A wrapped around in a bubble of fat. And because it's wrapped around in a bubble of fat, it is not as strong as the other forms of vitamin A. The palmitate wrapping, if you will, sort of weakens the molecule. That makes it relatively non-effective. In fact, pretty non-effective as far as getting vitamin A benefits. However, the second form, retinol, that one's incredible. It's nowhere near as potent as retinoic acid. In fact, it's about 100 times less potent, but it has dramatic effects, vitamin A effects. It's handled by the skin very well. It makes the skin look awesome. You can use it. To have a skin peel or to peel dark spots or acne. It's just amazing, amazing stuff. However, it does have a reputation for causing irritation, redness, and excessive flaking of the skin. If that occurs when you use your retinol, that's not a reason to not use retinol. That's a reason to take care of your skin via nutrition. In fact, deficiencies in essential fatty acids, especially deficiencies in EFAs, but also deficiencies in vitamin E, deficiencies in vitamin A internally, these can exacerbate the irritation that's caused by retinol. Also, retinol formulations tend to be crappy because retinol is really unstable. So you have to have a lot of stabilizing ingredients, and they'll put all kinds of things to stabilize retinol. For the most part, what they'll do is they won't put any retinol. Skincare companies, formulators won't put very much retinol in their so-called retinol products. I don't like calling companies out by name, but there's some that are just so egregious that they really deserve it to be called out by name. And one is a company called ROC, and they have a commercial running about their retinol product. Also, Neutrogena has a commercial running for their retinol product. But they don't tell you there's hardly any retinol in there. Just because it says retinol on the label doesn't mean you're going to get a retinol effect. You got to have the right amount. Problem, retinol is irritating for some folks, so skincare companies don't want to do that. So they'll tell you, they'll do a song and dance, they'll have a jargon, they'll have a slogan, they'll have a commercial about the retinol, but there won't be much in it. You need to have anywhere from 2% minimum to 5% to really get the good effects. You'll get some effects maybe at 1% as you approach 1%. It's on a continuum. But if you really want the retinol benefit, you got to have a lot of it. And you got to have it in a formulation that's carefully structured and designed, because retinol's so unstable. It breaks things down. Skincare companies don't want to mess around with that. They'd rather do a song and dance. But that's not fair to you and your skin, which is why I came out with my Truth treatment with 5% retinol. And you don't get irritated because it's in a clever formulation, if I do say so myself, with no preservatives and no irritants and a bunch of vitamin C to boot. Not that this is supposed to be commercial, because if you could find 5% retinol in a kind formulation, you don't need my Truth treatment products or my Truth treatment retinol gel. It's about the retinol. 5%, 4%, 3%. I don't know of any that have that high percentage, although there are some 2% out there. Retinoic palmitate, not going to do anything for you. Retinoic acid will. It's 100 times more potent than retinol, but you need a prescription for it. It only comes in crapola formulations. Retin-A is a crapola formulation. Now, generic forms of it. Do you know they put sodium lauryl sulfate in Retin-A? I haven't seen it, actually. I shouldn't say that. But they used to. They probably still do. Sodium lauryl sulfate, the same detergent that's in your shampoo and in your shower gels, it's now not even being used as detergents because it's so irritating, is actually in Retin-A. Now, who came up with that? Oh, yeah, the drug company. Can you imagine this? You have an irritating ingredient. Retinoic acid is already an irritating ingredient. Then you put in sodium lauryl sulfate in the formulation on top of the preservatives and the propylene glycol. And I love this one. A couple years ago, actually about 15 years ago, maybe more, maybe 20 years ago, Johnson & Johnson, the company that was making Retin-A, they were getting all of these complaints, and pharmacists were getting all these complaints about how Retin-A was really irritating. They wanted to use the Retin-A, but it was causing too much dryness. So you know what Johnson & Johnson did? They actually cleverly went back to the drawing board and created a new product they called Renova, which is marketed as the Retin-A for dry skin. And you know what it is? It's Retin-A with mineral oil. And that was their solution to the dry skin problem. And then they could charge $20 more too, because they put the mineral oil in there. This is the predatory skincare world we live in. And it's really based on the idea that nobody really appreciates the skin. We don't really treat the skin as if it's a fully fledged organ. We treat it like it's some kind of marginalized, crazy ant that lives in the basement. That's what our skin is. We just smear anything on the skin. Would you ever treat your heart or your liver or your spleen the way you treat your skin? Would you ever rub something on your heart if you had a heart problem or a liver problem? Would you rub something on your liver? But for the skin, we have this notion that because it's resilient and because it's so strong and vital and it can repel things, it doesn't really matter. And skincare companies take advantage of that, unfortunately. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. Vitamin E, continue on a little bit about vitamin E. I want to get to some, actually, you know what? I think I got an interesting, we'll talk about vitamin E, and we'll talk about vitamin E and diabetes, vitamin E and something called metabolic syndrome, which it wasn't that long ago that nobody heard of metabolic syndrome. These days, a lot of folks know about it. I want to get to, got this letter from Kimberly. She wrote, "Hi, I will be 35 next month. I'll be dealing with amenorrhea. That means not getting your periods for 4 years and struggling with infertility. Her right ovary was removed in a surgery that, get this, perforated her intestine. The scar tissue initially caused I don't know what she's saying here, hydrosalpingosis. kinks. I'm not sure what she's saying, but anyway, her period stopped. She's been diagnosed with early menopause. This is all after she had surgery, folks. All right, here's the deal. And she's taking digestive enzymes. She says she's taking something called serapeptase, lecithin. Here's the deal. If you are a woman and you aren't getting your period, you have a hormone issue. That's it. Periods are dependent on estrogen and progesterone largely, and under conditions of duress, under conditions of stress, the hormone system, the female reproductive hormone system, is going to be messed up, especially as we go through menopause. So what you want to do if you're having any female reproductive issues, amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, these are no periods or messed up periods, periods out of short periods or periods that don't occur in full cycles, whatever, PMS issues, you want to first and foremost focus on the digestive system. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, because the fats are very important for making estrogen and progesterone, keeping everything in balance, especially essential fatty acids. EFAs are also important for inflammation and anti-inflammation. And rest assured, if you have a female reproductive issue, you have an inflammatory issue. EFAs get turned into inflammatory chemicals and pro-inflammatory chemicals. So after working on fat absorption, make sure you're getting enough EFAs and make sure you're protecting your EFAs with vitamin E. And that means both omega-6s and omega-3s. This gal, Kimberly, you need to be using your ultimate EFAs along with vitamin E, in addition to using the digestive nutrients that help you process fats, the ultimate enzymes, and the Fucoid Z or the Z radical. I like the Fucoid Z better. You may want to throw in the glucogel caps. Digestive enzymes are super duper important. Kimberly says she's taking something called serapeptidase, which is a peptide amino acid. That's a good idea. Any digestive enzymes will help you. Lecithin, Kimberly says she's taking lecithin. That's a smart idea. And don't forget about the microbiome. This is one of the most important roles that the good bacteria play in the body. They help us process fats and fatty hormones. If you're not processing fats and fatty hormones especially, you are more at risk for estrogen diseases, including autoimmunity and cancer and problems with your reproductive cycle, period problems. This is one of the reasons why it's mostly women that get things like fibromyalgia and autoimmune diseases, because it's mostly women that are not processing their estrogen correctly. And sometimes estrogen gets the blame when it's really poorly processed estrogen, and that means working on your probiotics, among other things. Bile is also important for helping process estrogen, as is the liver. And also, guess what? As it turns out, vitamin E can help you process estrogen too. We'll be talking about that in the next few days as we continue talking skin health and wound healing and the fatty system of the body and fatty nutrients. Thanks for listening, friends. Check out my blog, pharmacistben.com. You can order products right off of pharmacistben.com, also criticalhealthnews.com and brightsideben.com. And make sure to check out truthtreatments.com and take a look at our retinol 5% gel. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. Bye for now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. FortressClothing.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
911, what is your emergency?
There's somebody in my house. Hurry, please.
A home break-in happens every 22 seconds. Homes without a security system are up to 3 times more vulnerable to a burglary. That's why there's Simply Safe. In an emergency, our advanced wireless technology alerts police up to 10 times faster, and your connection to emergency services can't be cut because Simply Safe doesn't rely on landlines. Simply Safe costs less than half what traditional companies charge, just $14.99 a month, and there's no commitment to an annual contract. Protect your family with the highest caliber security. Go now to simplysafedefense.com and get 10% off with free shipping and a 3-year warranty. Hurry, and you'll also receive a keychain remote worth $25. Try Simply Safe for a full 60 days. You'll feel confident that your family is safe or your money back. Go to simplysafedefense.com right now. simplysafedefense.com.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
Chronic inflammation is now known to block your ability to repair and compromises your immune system, making you more vulnerable to all diseases. Since poor diet, injuries, or stress are all contributing factors, many people suffer from inflammation. Your body's number one means of neutralizing inflammation and the pain that it may be causing is glutathione. Glutathione is the body's number one peptide to neutralize free radicals and thus stop inflammation.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 44 years old. For 10 years, I had been suffering from chronic pain in my abdomen and groin that radiated down into my feet. After 3 weeks on One World Way, the pain in my feet reduced by 50%, and the overall pain in my body reduced significantly as well. I ran out of One World Way, and the pain returned. I got another container, and again, after 3 weeks, the pain reduced significantly throughout my body. I'd highly recommend One World Way to anyone dealing with chronic pain due to inflammation.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld.com.
As the cold and flu season approaches, Silver Lungs is ready to help you and your family through the toughest of the year by supporting your immune system and overall health. From our best-selling colloidal silver generating system to our entire line of silver-based skin gels, nasal sprays, soaps, and silver solutions. Silver solutions remain one of nature's most powerful and least expensive antibacterial agents. Now you can produce your own for pennies a day in the comfort of your home using the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. Learn more today at www.silverlungs.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined. From where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at disappearingdollar.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to disappearingdollar.com. Again, that's disappearingdollar.com. silver.com.